Listen, if you like puzzles, you're still fine. That's 2020. And this is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. Jeff, my brain's weird. We've talked about this. I got weird brain.
And you got weird brain, but that's not holding you back.
No, I don't let it hold me back. I mean, I do have weird brain, but I don't let it hold me back. I'm sort of an inspirational story in that way. But we do talk about this where I have the ADHD. I've got some depression and anxiety. I am a medicated weird brain to kind of keep me able to do the things that I need to do. Particularly something that is always stressful to me is interruption or the feeling of potential interruption.
Oh, yeah. Not even interruption. It's the potential of interruption.
I can feel the background potential of interruption. One of the things when I remember when I was working for Discovery, just working in an office was fraught because I was just constantly worried that somebody was going to pull me into a meeting or just come to ask me a question or something. And my attention is just, it's a gossamer thread, Jeff. You can't see it you can only see it in direct light. It's so thin and delicate. And if somebody even breaks it for a moment, how do I get back to what I was doing? And,
this reminds me a bit of my son who's 4.
First of all, thanks.
in so many ways, being around young children who are developing gives you such a different and refreshed view of humanity. You know, just the idea of how our brains work, because at a certain level, when little kids, they're just like stripped away of all pretense. They're just like raw, open, unguarded, unmasked emotion. And my son, when we're at the dinner table or anything, my wife and I will turn to each other and start having what we like to call an adult conversation, where we speak about literally anything to each other. And my son will not be able to handle the fact that he can't be in this conversation, feels like his attention has been interrupted and he's not getting the attention. Mm-hmm. And he will just go, ah, just yell, just start shouting, which then prompts his 2-year-old little sister to do the same. And so my wife, 3 words into what we like to call a conversation, are just getting on either side of the table. I don't know. That just reminded me of that. Just that, like, how fragile the difference between I'm here, I'm ready, I'm listening, and just in my mind is screaming.
Yeah. Yes. And that is the focus of this story that I found on Reddit. One of the top science stories on Reddit this week. Let me tell you something. Finding science stories right now, Jeff, is fraught because, listen, what have we diverted all of our top men to right now?
Is it getting the cruise industry back?
It's getting the cruise industry back, Jeff.
We want the cruise industry.
We've got all of our best scientists working on getting the cruise industry back on their feet. We've got everybody looking into this fucking COVID on every level. Where, listen, this is the science right now. The entire world is about COVID right now. So looking for science stories right now, and I'm sure everybody who submits stories, I'm sure you're saying, as it should be.
As it should be.
But listen, we're trying to find stories about octopus cities and like mayonnaise eating and shit like that. And people just aren't studying that right now. We're studying COVID. But so every time I find a story that is kind of unrelated to it, it makes me kind of happy. This one is some research that was just published by ETH Zurich. It's a public university in Zurich. And it says that workplace interruptions lead to physical and psychological stress. And the more you get interrupted, the more long-term and permanent the stress can be.
Interesting. I mean, A, I guess it's good we don't have workplaces anymore. But B,
But is it? Because we'll put a pin in that. Go to B.
B is, I think in general, we have vastly underestimated the causes and effects of stress.
Mm-hmm.
I think as a culture, as a society, specifically in America, but I think globally, I don't think we've really come to terms with how much stress we put ourselves under and how much it results in our physical unhealthiness.
Yes.
You know, I think we were just coming around to this notion a little bit in the last, 5 years. It feels like this is a really unexplored frontier of science.
Yeah. And you see it as people sort of go down in age, their awareness of this goes up, right? Like the younger you are right now, the more likely you are to take seriously terms like self-care and things like that. Whereas like if, you get somebody up around like my father's age, and he, if you said self-care to him, he'd probably, he's one of those guys who would tell you the story about walking uphill both ways or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, you get people that are around our age, well, my age, maybe like plus or minus 20 years for you. And it becomes like, I know the term, I feel a little bit guilty and silly using the term, but I understand that it's important, right?
Right.
Whereas like you go down to people who are in their 20s, in their teens, and like self-care, they understand that that's part of their day, right? They understand that multitasking in an intense way is kind of dangerous and kind of frazzles you, and interruptions can frazzle you, and constantly doing work for other people and shifting around your priorities all the time everywhere is not healthy for you, right? And so this story talks about people who are interrupted at work actually create more cortisol. They create more of the stress hormone every time that they're interrupted. And what they did was they had two groups of people, and they told these two groups of people, they told both groups, hey, we're doing a health test on all employees, so we're going to come by multiple times a day, and we're going to swab your mouth. And then they told the second group, in addition to this, they told the second group, like a different person came in and was like, hey, by the way, you're part of a group that's up for a promotion, so we're going to need to like email you a couple times today or check in with you to get some information about putting you up for this promotion. Both groups wound up more stressed at the end of the day because people were in the middle of working, and then somebody came by 3 times a day, was like, hey man, I need to swab your mouth for this health test. It's like, fuck, okay. You know what I mean? Like you can just imagine sitting at the desk and being like, fuck, okay, yeah, let's do it. The second group of people were just getting these emails or these little check-ins or calls throughout the day. It's like, hey, can you send me this for the promotion thing? Hey, can you do this for the promotion thing? And it would stop them, interrupt them, make them do, and they made sure it was nothing that was too hard. It was like, hey, can you remind me of this? It was just a simple thing. Simple answer. Just be like, hey, Jeff, can you remind me, how many years have you been working here? Nothing that they would have to like deeply research or whatever. It's just an interruption. Yeah. Those people by the end of the day had far higher cortisol levels.
Wow.
And as these days sort of compound, these higher cortisol levels have long-term effects. The so more you're stressed.
It isn't even the severity of the interruption. Like it's not about, taking me off my task for a long period of time or making me divert. It's literally just even tiny little taps of my attention have a negative effect. Absolutely. And over time, that stuff builds up and it becomes chronic. And you wind up, this is how you wind up chronically stressed. This is how you wind up with chronic pain, chronic weight gain. This is how you wind up with knots all up in your back because you're just a little more stressed every day. And it all adds up. And, I think about this, this is where we take the pin out of what you said earlier in the episode, where it's like, thank goodness we don't have workplaces anymore. Oh, we've got workplaces, my guy. Yeah.
And
full
now
of way more interruptions. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the workplace is not a place you can escape. And so the interruptions are not always work interruptions. Sometimes they're just general life interruptions. The The boundaries are malleable, my bud. They're malleable now.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse is what's happening.
That's what's happening.
No, I truly think this time period, however long it's going to last, this COVID quarantine period, is going to be studied for the rest of our lives as to what long-term effects it has on us as a culture. I think the level of general stress in America and around the world is much higher. Mm-hmm. And I think all of these tiny little contributors obviously stress about the virus itself. Am I going to get it? Do my friends have it? Can I hang out? Can I go there? Can I do this? Do I have my mask? Do other people have their masks? All that shit is stressful. But I also think these little things that we overlook that don't feel stressful in the moment or don't even feel like that big of a deal. You know, it just being interrupted, just the fact that, my kid is in the other room now instead of me being able to leave the house, or there's other people in the house, or, I got to take the garbage out. If you're at work, you're not thinking about taking the garbage out. You're thinking about work.
Yeah. Yeah. I always get grief from the people in my life a little bit sometimes because there will be entire days sometimes where you just can't get a hold of me. You just can't get a hold of me.
Yeah.
And people will be like, what were you doing? I was trying to get a hold of you. And it was like, there was a thing. And if I didn't shut out the entire world today, that thing was not going to get done. And that thing
exactly the same way.
That thing was the most important thing. And I know my brain and I know my issues and I know how I work. And if you even walked up and tapped me on the shoulder, if my phone even went bing for me to look at the thing that you sent me, that would be, that's a little, and that goes back to that gossamer thread that is my attention versus other people's attention. But there are just some days where I know it's gonna throw me off. And not only is it gonna throw me off, but I'm also somebody who's acutely aware of when I've been thrown off. And that's part of the ADHD as well. And part of the anxiety as well is like, I know when I've lost it, and it puts me into a cycle where all I can think about is how I've lost it. You know what I mean? And so that stress becomes even more compounding. And so that's why it's just, I have to cut things off. And, you think about the last 10 years, 15 years in America where everybody's championing the open office plan. Everybody sits around a big table, no walls. Everybody can talk to you. Can talk to me. I can talk to you. Nobody. I'm no more important than you are. It's not about importance. It's not about importance. It's about the fact that we're all here to do something, and all of the things that we have to do, even though they're interconnected, are different. Right. And you have to allow me to do my thing.
Right.
You have to.
No, I could not agree more with that horse shit. I mean, that thing you said about the horse shit, which is the frustration. The last office job I worked at, which I've now been let go from, thanks COVID, was all of that, Silicon Valley up its own ass kind of perspective of like the written down rules were everybody has an open office. No one sits in the same place 2 days in a row. You have to move around the office. And
fuck off to hell.
Half of your brain is like, oh, okay, I got to re-nest. I got to re-fucking situate everything.
Why are we running an office? Why are we running an office when you're just turning the office into a coffee shop? If I've got to worry about where I'm sitting and if there's an outlet and if I can find the people I need to find and what the fuck is going on, let me just go to the coffee shop. Don't make me come into this office.
Yeah. Especially now that we've all seen, we can all just, work remotely and it's fine. But yeah, it was so frustrating. And we kept trying to point out to the powers that be that this doesn't actually improve anything. And there's been study after study that open floor plans in workspaces doesn't improve morale. It doesn't improve productivity. It doesn't improve anything. It just makes it way more uncomfortable for everybody. And that whatever lost time you may have had when someone was in their cubicle fucking off doing something, searching for, birthday gifts that they need to buy, whatever they're doing, that is dwarfed by the loss of productivity you have of people just being stressed out, hyper aware of all the other people around them, of not being able to focus because there's all these weird stimuli hitting them, bombarding them from all over the place because everybody's moving and just talking. And it's a stupid idea.
It's a stupid
that needs to go be thrown away.
It's a dumb idea, everybody. And I think it's very interesting now. I thought about it the second I heard it. I read this story. I thought about it in terms of ADHD, and I was like, yes, of course. Of course. And they're talking about this just in the workplace and just in the office. But I think this can be applied to anything. I think they certainly studied it in the office and in the workspace because that seems like the most applicable way to study this sort of thing. But we all need stretches of solitary time and attention that are unbroken for whatever it is we're doing. And especially now, when, we're all cohabitating in smaller spaces, we need more of a sense of normalcy. This becomes even more important. Like, I was thinking about it the second I read it. I thought about it for myself in terms of ADHD, I thought about it for you in terms of small children. You can't explain to a small child that you need 3 hours. 3 hours is like, holy shit. The earth could explode in 3 hours. 3 hours could be the end of time. 3 hours? I can't even conceptualize that. 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. My child has 2 time periods, now and after nap. That's the only time you can tell him. It's like, buddy, we'll do that after nap. And he understands that. Mm-hmm. It's either that or I need to do it right now. Can we wait 15 minutes? No, daddy. I need to do it now. All right. Well, can we wait till after nap? All right. That is a demarcation line in my day that I understand. I can wait till after nap.
15 minutes means nothing. But okay, 15 minutes, like that's real, Dad. I mean, honestly, the kid's got a point. It's not real.
He's got a point.
The only thing that's real is nap. Like,
I wish I had nap.
Meal, nap, sleep. Those are the things that interrupt the day. Everything else is something that you made up.
So what do you think, dude? Do we need like sensory deprivation tanks in our homes? Does everybody need to be just given some? What do we need? Do we need Beats headphones? Everyone state issued Beat headphones to put on tranquil music in a noise cancellation type environment?
How do we deal with this? What we need are boundaries. That's what everybody needs. And boundary in the workplace. That means that we need to rethink all of these things that we think are important. Things like meetings every hour and a half, with different departments. Yeah. Things like calls that people need to be jumped on. Things like just walking over to somebody's space and being like, "Hey, what's up, dude? I'm in your space." Like, we just need to be rethinking how that works. And I think in our personal lives, we need to be rethinking how do we protect and guard our time and make sure that we have the space to do the things we need to do without these tiny little interruptions. And some of these tiny little interruptions we're doing to ourselves, right? Like, those are the other things. Like, this is stuff that we've been talking about quite a lot this year on the show, which is, the phone, the interruptions that we put in our own lives. I had an alert on my phone for 2 weeks that was telling me when video cards were in stock. And by the time I checked, every time I would get the alert, I'd get the ping, I'd check, the video cards were sold out. I don't know why I kept that alert on my phone for 2 weeks. It was destroying my day, like 3 or 4 times a day.
Alert.
It was a highly unpleasant alert. It was basically the alert to let me know that there were video cards and I missed them.
Yeah, you missed an alert.
Yeah. It's like, hey.
It's the hey, you're too slow. Again, too slow.
Other people have the thing you want. Like, what a terrible alert to give yourself. Yeah. Like, out of all the things we've been trying to teach ourselves this year, I set an alert on my phone to tell me that I was missing out on something that other people have. What a terrible thing to do to myself. And I think we just need to kind of look at those things and make sure we're not doing them to ourselves, and make sure other people are happy. What? Other people are happy
right now.
What? I mean, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, but they're happy in a way that you're not. What?
Someone in your area has found peace.
Fuck!
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds amazing.
Have I found peace? No. So we really need to be looking at that. And we need to I think we also need to get better at communicating with the people in our lives and also get better about being sensitive to the people in our lives about when we all need space, right? We all need to be okay with just kind of looking at people and being like, hey man, I just need an hour. It's nothing you're doing is annoying me. I understand that what you're bringing to me is important. I hear that what you're bringing to me is important. I need 2 hours. And I swear to God, after that 2 hours, we're going to talk about this and we're going to make it a priority. I swear. But I need to do this, we need to be better about doing that with other people. I have a buddy that emails me all the time, and I couldn't figure out why he emailed me all the time. It was really weird because email is the last thing on my priority to answer. And, I was like, dude, why don't you text me or why don't you call? How come you email me all the time? He's like, because nothing I'm bringing to you is important. And I was like, holy shit. Because I was feeling bad because I was getting back to him a day or two later, as opposed to right away. And I was like, shit, he keeps sending me these things and I'm not. And he was just like, nah, man, I just know how you work. And I know that email's the last thing you're going to look at. And that's cool. And I was like, fuck, man, that's actually really nice.
Your friend is way cooler than you.
Yeah, I know that. I know that already.
Super courteous dude.
But yeah, I think
my favorite thing about this story is that it's couched not in a place of productivity, but in a place of stress.
Yes.
I think that's an important distinction, right? Because so many of these stories and studies are all about how do we maximize productivity, or how do you make the most of your day, or, your distractions will make you less efficient as a worker. And this story is saying something different, which is it's going to make you unhealthy.
Yeah.
It is going to make you miserable. It's not just that you're less able to get things done. It's that you're going to have health problems. Your body, your physical form is going to feel the effects of this shit.
Yeah.
I think that's a big distinction to make too.
I think it's I think it's wonderful. I now that you bring that up, that is a really interesting thing. Normally at the end of an article like that, we would get something that's and after the interruptions were removed, people were 18% more efficient. And it's nah, fuck you, fuck jobs, fuck employers. Let me tell you something. This is slowly killing us and we all know it. And here's the proof. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's true.
Guard your time. Guard your time and guard the time of others. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
People should give us
interrupting the show. Are we interrupting the show right now for something?
Yeah. This is the normal flow of the show. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
This is not an interruption. Right. This is a standard format for the show. And the standard format. No, don't get stressed. Don't get stressed. This is the part where we stress everybody else out by telling them, we need your money.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a lot of your money. It can be a lot of your money, but it doesn't have to be $1. $1 a month can get you access to our Discord where cool folks are hanging out. You can participate in the community that is We Have Concerns. And then you also get the benefit of feeling great about supporting the show, because really, there is no other form of support for the show. This is the only way we get to make it.
That's it.
By asking you for your hard-earned dollars.
Look, is this technically an ad? Shut up. I'm going to tell you that we don't bring in ads except for this ad where we talk about our Patreon. Is it an ad? You're splitting hairs with me, and I don't get pedantic with me right now. Listen, we're recording this on November 2nd, and I don't have the energy. I have the energy for pedantry right now. But no, we don't come here and try to sell you products. We don't come here and try to get in your face. We don't let other people run audio within our show. All we do is let you know that we have a community that we run. If you'd like to join it for as little as $1 a month, and higher, there are higher levels that you can join as well. But if you'd like to, you can be part of that community and you can help support the show and help us keep making it. That's all. Patreon.com/We Have Concerns. Was this an ad?
Yeah.
Once again, shut up.
Anthony, let's talk about diamonds.
Fuck yeah. Let's talk about diamonds.
Diamonds, as I'm sure you know,
they've never caused any problems. They are beautiful. They are valuable. They are sourced from the earth, which means nobody gets hurt. It's just the earth.
Well,
you know, you dig a hole in the earth, and sometimes there are diamonds, and if you're lucky, you get a diamond, and that's the way it works. Nobody's ever taken advantage of that system. Nobody has corrupted that system. Nobody is artificially inflating that system. Diamonds are good.
Well, about that, it turns out that, as many people are aware, diamonds aren't that good. They're pretty dirty as far as lots of things.
Diamonds are bad.
We all know that they're about blood diamonds, right? We know about
these are diamonds from werewolves.
Yes, a diamond's eyes are made of diamonds, and if you can pluck them out with the blood of the virgin, you can have. It's beautiful.
What's a blood diamond?
Blood diamond, of course, it refers to
werewolves.
The horrible situation of slave labor and
what?
A lot of things about
slave labor.
How
in my diamonds?
Yes. African countries that have, territories have had violent uprisings, battles, criminal element, fighting over territory, diamond, all kinds of horrible stuff.
That's why
that is not what this story is about.
That's why when I got married, when I got engaged to my ex, I got cruelty free diamonds, which is when you dig up a grave. And you simply yank an old wedding. It can be of a werewolf. That's how you get the better diamonds. But you could just be a regular person, and you just yank the wedding ring right off their finger and repurpose it. And that's cruel to no one.
I don't think you know what cruel means.
I don't. I also don't know what diamonds are. Apparently.
Well, that is not what this story is about. This story is not about the blood that may be on your hands if you purchase a diamond.
Though there is a lot of blood on your hands if you purchase a fucking diamond.
There's a lot of blood. And I don't want to discount how much blood, because there's a lot of blood.
Listen.
But this isn't about the blood. This is about the impact on our planet. This story was sent to us by the Badger, Stephen Badgery, on the old Discord.
The Badger.
Coming through again, the Badger. It turns out that not only does it have a human cost in actual blood, it also can involve 1 carat. A 1 carat diamond can involve shifting over 1,000 tons of rock and earth, 3,890 liters of water, and more than 108 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
if you're wondering how big a 1 carat diamond is, if you're not somebody who's done any diamond shopping or has any sort of a 1 carat diamond, if you were just going to get a raw like a polished 1 carat diamond, that is about $3,500 worth of diamond. So if you're wondering,
it's a lot of diamond.
That's a lot of diamond. Diamonds are worth a lot of money, basically because one cartel makes sure that it's so. But
every cartel begins with K.
But so if you're wondering, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of resources to move just to get 1 carat. There's why. Every single one, just raw, $3,500.
Pretty intense. And it's an intense amount of the planet that gets displaced, used up, and otherwise wasted to get diamonds out of the ground. Enter not synthetic. Enter the notion of making our own diamonds.
Cubic zirconia.
No. Cubic zirconia is a completely different material. Cubic zirconium is not a diamond. It is something that appears, it has the sort of same qualities of a diamond, although many of the qualities that a diamond has, it does not retain.
So
it's pretty simple.
So
it's pretty simple to tell the difference between a diamond and a cubic zirconium.
Right. And then a synthetic. But so a synthetic diamond, you're talking about, this is a diamond that we make basically like in lab conditions. These are lab grown diamonds.
Exactly. This is an actual diamond, a real diamond. It just wasn't made by being compressed inside the earth, through pressure, miles underground. It was made in a laboratory, and there's a couple of different methods for doing that. One of them is to literally put a diamond seed, which is like a sliver of a diamond, inside a room with a bunch of carbon dioxide, and they call it a growth chamber.
Oh, and just let it attach. Just let the carbon attach and kind of like grow out the diamond.
Well, they heat it.
Yeah.
They heat it to an extreme temperature, and then it converts the carbon dioxide,
there's no diamond tree.
No,
the diamond seed doesn't grow a diamond tree.
No.
Okay.
No. Doesn't grow a diamond tree.
I thought it was like an Animal Crossing thing where like if you bury a bag of money.
How many times do I have to tell you Animal Crossing is not a documentary?
How many times do I have to tell you I wish Animal Crossing was a documentary?
We all wish that. So anyway, this diamond seed crystal is put into this gas mixture, and then it is the temperature is elevated to 900 to 1200 degrees Celsius. And then
which is over 50 billion degrees Fahrenheit.
And then that activated carbon hydrogen travels across the surface of the diamond seed until it finds a carbon atom, which it attaches itself to, and it grows. That grows one carbon atom thicker. And it does that over and over and over and over and over until you grow a diamond in a lab.
Okay.
Pretty fucking cool.
That's cool.
They've been able to do this since the late 1950s. It was basically the 70s and 80s that it was viable. And there's been a bunch of people that have worn lab-created diamonds. Notably, some famous celebrities have worn them recently to award ceremonies, these lab-created diamonds. But this story that the Badger sent to us is about a UK billionaire by the name of Dale Vince.
Boo.
Dale Vince, billionaire.
We boo all billionaires on this show. He might be a nice guy. He might be doing something cool. I just want you to know I have to boo him.
He founded a company called Ecotricity, which is a green energy supplier.
Okay.
And they have just announced, literally just a couple of days ago, they have the ability to create sky diamonds.
Sky diamonds? That's my favorite James Bond movie.
Exactly. Sky diamonds.
Sky
Mr. Bond.
diamonds.
Diamonds in the sky when you must have diamonds in the sky.
What was the name of the Bond girl in that
Mr.
one?
Bonds. Mr. Bond, you will never get the sky diamonds because I have placed them in the sky.
Damn.
Remember that scene?
Do you know that in all the Sean Connery obituaries that I read, not a single one of them mentioned the Avengers or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
That's an oversight.
That's a huge oversight. So this billionaire is creating sky diamonds, and let me tell you something, Jeff. You had me at sky diamonds, but what does that mean?
I kind of buried the lead on sky diamonds. That means that they are using everything they're using to make this diamond. They are using from the sky. So this is doing that process where they are creating a diamond from a diamond seed. They are making diamonds from carbon dioxide and hydrogen.
Whoa.
But they're getting the carbon dioxide and hydrogen from the air.
We don't want
sky mining.
Whoa. Okay.
So they are getting carbon dioxide captured directly from the atmosphere to form the diamonds. And then they use wind and solar electricity to heat the room. And they use hydrogen from water collected from rainfall. They say it's the world's first zero impact diamond. In fact, it has a negative carbon footprint, which means they're literally leaving the air cleaner than they found it.
Wow. Okay. What's the downside? This guy, I mean, he's a billionaire, so he's secretly evil. What is the downside of this?
He has all the diamonds, I guess, and he has Sky Diamonds now, and you can market Sky Diamonds,
I guess,
TM,
yeah.
and he owns the copyright to Sky Diamonds, I guess.
He's got all the Sky Diamonds. He's creating...
He says he's
destroying the entire diamond
carats.
market and turning it towards him, and then he's the only one with diamonds that are worth anything, because Sky Diamonds.
Yeah, and that's why he had to carve out that volcano and put his office in there, because that's the only place that you can have Sky Diamonds.
It's also the only place nobody would interrupt him.
Exactly.
If you build your office, that's why. Let me tell you something about evil villains, Jeff. There's a reason they're able to get so much done. There's a reason, and it's because
they're not interrupted.
No, they're in an undersea pod. They're deep in a volcano. Right. They're in a satellite in space. Nobody's walking in and tapping them on the shoulder and going like, "Oh, hey Lex, can I just get your opinion on this marketing project that we're working on down on 15? No, nobody does that to Lex Luthor.
That's because that guy would be killed.
Think about
I mean,
think about this on the flip side too, Jeff. Superman, Fortress of Solitude. Who's knocking on the Fortress of Solitude? Nobody. Giant key.
Oh,
Batman. The only person
Superman had it figured out.
He had it figured out. Batman. The only person who can interrupt Batman is Alfred, and Alfred knows better. What is Alfred?
You're blowing my mind here.
Alfred shows up.
The key to being a
Batman.
Super anything is just not get interrupted.
You could have been Batman by now, Jeff, if people just would stop interrupting you. You'd be
I feel like being on the show is a huge mistake because all you do is interrupt.
I know. You're
like my kryptonite.
You're farther and farther from reaching your potential every week. You do this with me.
Boy, you would have thought I would have come to that conclusion earlier than 6 years in.
I'm like your Ra's al Ghul. I'm in the background.
Yeah.
I'm in the background pulling the strings.
It was always you the whole time.
It was always me.
You were always there.
Sometimes I'm Irish. Doesn't make sense, but sometimes I am. Shouldn't be. Don't think about it too much.
No.
So there. He's making diamonds.
200 carats. You can make 200 carats of carbon negative diamonds every month right now. But he said that their facility will be able to scale up to create 1,000 carats a month within the next year.
So what does a normal diamond mine find? What does one of these blood diamond operations find every month?
That's a good question. I don't have that data, but I know that basically doesn't De Beers just have like silos full of diamonds and they just decide how many are going to be released? Yeah, they just decide how many are going to be released into the wild it's not even about.
Let me tell you something. If you thought the Disney vault was evil, if you thought fucking the video card inventory release was evil, look up De Beers and find out what they're doing with diamonds to keep diamonds valuable. De Beers has plenty of diamonds. They don't need any more diamonds.
So here's my question to you about all this. This what is it? CVD process, which stands for, why do I say things and then I lose them immediately? This CVD process, which stands for chemical vapor deposition, or deposition, I guess. We've been able to do this for a while. Do you think it somehow devalues diamonds? I don't mean.
I hope so.
I don't mean in a. Do you think it should? It should. It should make diamonds cheaper.
Absolutely.
It should make. Do you think people will feel like, well, if it wasn't compressed by the Earth's weight, if it was literally compressed in a lab, if it was grown in a lab, it's somehow less than, even though it is chemically, biologically a diamond.
Yeah, but it's okay. So first of all, synthetic diamonds have already existed for a while, as you've been talking about. And yes, the fact that they're synthetic does make them less valuable. I think they're actually required by law to tell you if your diamond is synthetic. They're not allowed to pass it off as a natural diamond. And that could be because of De Beers as well, and it sounds like it probably is. Somebody with a little more information on that would have to tell me. But the other thing is, think about reproduction versus mint in box on anything you collect, right? Yeah. Think about that first edition of the book, or the reprint of the comic, or the 20th anniversary edition of the action figure you had when you were a kid. It's not the same. People don't want that. They want the real one. So this probably, you can't ask as much for them, but I am hoping that it does destabilize and lower the price of actual diamonds. I would love to see De Beers just get fucked. You know what I mean?
Well, listen to this. This sentence on the CNN article, the last paragraph of the CNN article here says, lab-grown diamonds are much cheaper and their popularity could contribute to a catastrophe for the industry.
Good.
De Beers, the world's largest diamond miner, posted an 87% drop in underlying 2019 earnings in February as the average price of its gems fell by 20%.
Let's go. This is fucking great. Because it's like you're saying.
Throw the sky diamonds and drop the whole market out for diamonds and let everybody have diamonds. We can all have diamonds. We can all have sky diamonds. We can make the
sky diamonds
cleaner.
Are cooler.
Just be taking baths in bathtubs full of sky diamonds.
Sky diamonds are cooler.
Right?
They're cooler because they're cooler than dirt diamonds. Dirt diamonds suck. Pass it on. These ones come from the sky. The sky is beautiful. Dirt is garbage. Listen.
Exactly.
In 2017, diamond production was 142.3 million carats. Okay, so that's 118. That's like 120, like somewhere around 118, 119,000 carats of diamonds per month, right? So if this dude is making 1,000 carats a month, he's almost making
drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket, but it's not nothing. It's almost 1%, right? Yeah. Every month he's accounting for 1% of the diamonds that are out there, right? So if you think about 142.3 million diamonds in 2017, that was worth $15.6 billion. If you can get 1% of that, you're doing okay. Not only that,
I don't even know.
But if you can destabilize that shit, woo, baby, that's even better.
It's a pretty bold move. And you said that you think that they have to announce whether it has been lab grown or not, but according to this, it's physically and chemically identical to earth mined diamonds. Yeah. So I don't even know how, at a certain point, how would you prove it?
So right? When you buy something diamond, if you buy a diamond, or any precious gem, rare stone, you get a lot of paperwork about where that stone came from and the origin of that stone. Now, obviously, that paper trail and that chain can fall away depending on what, oh, this is my grandma's. We don't have any paperwork on it. It's been in my family forever. But if you buy a new diamond, you're supposed to get some sort of paperwork with it that says like, yo, this is a diamond. Here's where it was found. Here's what's up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like, it's like getting a Cabbage Patch Kid or, something like that. It has to come with a birth certificate.
Yeah, no, thanks for putting it in terms that I would understand.
Yeah. He collects a lot of Cabbage Patch Kids, which is really weird. But like, I don't yuck anybody's yum. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. If this dude gets
I call him my diamonds, my little diamonds.
His little diamonds is what he calls them. If this dude gets 1% of the market every month, that's $156 million, right?
Hey,
that's not nothing. I don't know what this process costs, but probably not much.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's actually, positive for the world, and it, they say the only thing that's different about these diamonds in comparison to earth mined diamonds,
they give you the urge to kill if you wear them.
Yeah, it's they turn you into a werewolf and then you're buried with them forever.
Until I come along. You know what I'm saying? Until Daddy needs a diamond.
No, they say they are actually even more perfect, right? That's the only thing that's different about them, is that they're better.
Yeah.
They're literally better than Earth diamonds because they're perfectly made.
I love that. Better than real.
Yeah.
Better than real, baby.
Sky diamond, it's better than real.
But this guy is a villain, because we know that he's a villain because his whole goal is to destabilize a global market. But he's the kind of villain that I could get behind. You know what I mean? And
his name is Dale Vince. I mean, that's a villain name if I've ever heard one.
Do you think that's a villain name? That sounds like a
Dale Vince.
No, that sounds like a sporting character in Joe Dirt. That sounds like one of like a Larry the Cable Guy would go on tour and Dale Vince would be the opener.
I want to thank Dale Vince for warming you all
Dale,
up.
get her done. Thanks for coming on tour.
I don't know. I think Dale Vince is kind of a badass name. Dale is a doofy first name. I'll give you that. Dale is not. I mean,
Vince is not even like Vince is not even Vincent. Vince is the friendly.
Yeah, Dale Vincent.
Vince is the friendly form of Vincent. You know what I mean?
Dale Vince. Yeah, it's like two abbreviations.
Sounds like Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration.
Maybe this is the billionaire we need.
Listen. I'm all for destabilizing all markets. That's where I stand in the year of our Lord 2020 as this draws to a close. Destabilize everything. Yeah. The billionaires that we have in power right now really suck. I'm willing to give Dale Vince a shot. You know, I'd rather not give any more billionaires a shot, but if we're going to give one a shot, I guess we can give it to Dale Vince. As long as we dethrone one somehow. Yeah. There's a limit. There should be a global limit on the amount of billionaires we're allowed to have.
I think we're gonna find out that this was actually two half billionaires put together as Dale and Vince.
Dale and Vince. It's two brothers. It's two 12-year-old brothers on each other's shoulders. Pretending.
They were only half billionaires the whole time.
If they're half billionaires, they can't be bad. Everybody.
I just think this is fascinating that we've been able to do this since the late 50s. And it's been fairly rare. It hasn't really done much. But here comes this dude who's like, hey, not only can I do it, I can do it in a green way, in an efficient kind of earth first way. And I'm going to do it at scale.
Because for a while, the most common way to do it was just explosions.
Exactly.
They would go to a place that was like known for, like, the mineral deposits were known for being like rich in carbon, and they would create diamonds, and they would just fucking detonate explosives and hope that it made diamonds. Like, they did that for a while. Diamonds are fucked up, man.
Diamonds are fucked up. Yeah. But to be fair, way more billionaires were into that explode parts of the earth plan than they are into this one.
Yeah, because if you could make a layer that looks like your face and recoup some of the cost by finding diamonds, maybe that's a win-win. You know what I mean?
That's two birds is what that is. Two birds with one what, Anthony?
Diamond?
That's a stone. A diamond is a stone. They call them gemstones. Two birds with one stone is what I was going for.
One explosion? Two bird, one. Anyway, this is cool.
I want to know when I can start buying sky diamonds.
I love this.
I want sky diamonds as far as the eye can see.
I want all alchemy all the time. I want us to be transmutating garbage into wealthy shit. I want us destabilizing. I think the entire idea of precious metals, precious stones is it's outmoded. It's over. It's terrible. I want it gone. I want all this shit made synthetically, and I want everybody to be able to wear diamonds from head to toe, and I want it to mean nothing. Golden diamonds from head to toe, and I want it to mean nothing. I want it to cost what a fucking t-shirt costs at H&M, and not even like a good one. One of the ones that they have like up by the register in a roll where you get like 3 t-shirts for $20, and that was made in like a bad place for people, and you're just like, but you're like, I need some V-necks. So you pick it up anyway. I want gold and precious. I want emeralds to be there too. I want to be like, well, I'm going to get 3 t-shirts and some emeralds for $20.
I'm ready for them to, if they can, craft a diamond in a lab based on a seed. can they like start making them into specific shapes? Because that would be cool.
Ooh, crystal skull.
Have diamond armor. Crystal skull.
Crystal
there you go. Crystal skull. Or I went to diamond armor. You know, I went to like, Minecraft diamond armor.
Get yourself some mithril.
Yeah. I'd go for a bracer of diamond.
Yeah,
Slide my wrist into it, you know?
I'd punch someone.
Sweet.
I'd put diamond on my fist and punch somebody.
Yeah.
If he's not planning on making himself a suit of pure diamond, then I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what kind of billionaire he thinks he is.
Yeah. Listen, Kanye West is giving people holograms of their dead fucking parents. You better be thinking about making a suit full of diamonds because he just upped the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we're giving out holograms on private islands just for birthdays now, buddy, you better have a diamond suit to wear to the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know, look at all the other billionaires in the eye.
Fuck.
You know?
Make a fucking diamond guillotine. You know what I mean? Jesus. Folks, let's make all the diamonds and destabilize fucking De Beers. Let's do it together as a family.
Let's destabilize the entire podcasting market by undermining their business model with Patreon.
Oh, shit. Was that a segue? We don't normally do those. Damn.
No.
Damn.
No.
Do you know why we don't normally do them? Not enough money. We don't have enough money to pay the segue board.
We need to pay get those sweet segue permits.
We barely have enough
permit.
to renew our podcasting license month to month. And you want us to do segues and proper hosting? We don't have that kind of money.
It's very difficult. Very difficult. But you can help. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns and you can get us good segues from here on out. You never know.
We don't have a particular level or goal for good segues. Just you'll know when we hit it because the show will get better. It's $1 a month to join our Discord. And $3 or more a month.
The show doesn't get any better. Just keep
waiting. We're going to hit that goal. $3 a month gets you the bonus show. The bonus show is those little conversations that we have in the beginning of every episode, the ones that we're ending as we go into the episode. Those are full conversations. Patrons have them at the $3 level or more. $5 gets you hangouts and bonus audio here and there. There's a lot of stuff that you can have. But for $1 or more, you can hang out with all the other concerned citizens. And I think that's good value right there. Head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns to find out about that. And until then, let's make a fucking diamond guillotine.